I've been around here about 11 years. The only people that had to use a fire extinguisher was Dave and I one time, and I think it was 28 Lima, where we got the carburetor on fire. So Dave can show you how to use that.
Okay, this is a ramp extinguisher. It's a dry chemical. Whenever you're using any type of fire extinguisher, you need to remember the acronym PASS. P is for to pull the pin. A is to aim. You aim at the base of the fire. S is to squeeze. That's this handle. And S again is to sweep. So we'll go through the steps of using this extinguisher. First of all, you need to check the gauge to make sure that it is charged. It's in the green. If it's not, you need to report it to the base fire department so it can be recharged. Also, if you do use it, let the fire department know that you've used it. Usually they'll know.
Why is that?
Just as an aside, the day we had the incident on our little carburetor, fire was out. Used just a tiny bit of the extinguisher, but in translation, somehow they rolled 2 crash trucks and the rescue truck and 2 chief cars for the 152. So then they stood around looking like, what is this thing? Okay, step 1, check the pressure. Check 2, pull the pin, and this does have a valve on it, so you need to pull the valve open. What that does, it charges the line, this hose, so that you can take this off and pull it to where you need it, and open this valve. Again, aim at the base of the fire, sweep. Once you're done with the, you think the fire is out, don't turn your back on the fire. Back away from the fire and keep watching it. The reason for that is you may have a flashover, and it's nothing more embarrassing to just thought you put the fire out and have it burn you in the posterior. Any questions on the operation of the fire extinguisher? Comments? The only other comment I had about my fire was I used to teach firefighting at SWIC, and I was concerned that some of the firemen that had responded to the airplane fire were some of my students. That would have been embarrassing. Yeah.
Let me just say a few words about potential for fire in the wintertime. What happened this day, I guess we over-primed it, and what happens on a carbureted airplane, when you over-prime it, all the fuel goes down in the carburetor heat box down below. And you'll see fuel dripping on the ground. If you see that, you best stop what you're doing, because you're just asking for trouble. And then it backfires and sets it off, and you get that fire down in the carburetor heat box. Of course, we're not going to apply it after that for sure, but the recommended procedure on most of the airplanes is if the airplane is running, keep on running, hopefully sucking up the flames and putting it out. If it's not running, then you still keep on cranking it with the mixture cut off so there's no more fuel going in, and again it sucks up the fuel and fire. If that doesn't put it out like it didn't for us, like Dave and I, get the heck out of it and get the fire extinguisher and put it out. Has anybody else had any experience with carburetor fires or any kind of fires?
Big fires. Big aircraft.
No,
Yeah. But anyway, it's a real, it can really happen.
On that, was the air filter already burned out and you were able to get the chemical in there, or did you have to remove it, or how did that work out?
No, the air filter was soaked with fuel, and all I did was hit the face of the air filter. It hadn't burned out yet.
Okay.
But we did have some pretty good flames. Ken said, I think we better get out of here.
Really?
And a few other things.
Okay, another thing, any other comments on fires or questions?
I think the only other thing, you guys need to remember that if something like that happened, and if you're not out here with an instructor, and once you shut it down, call me. Please call me, because if you don't call me, believe me, the commander and everybody else will. So call me. And the 9 out of 10 times, what normally happens is once that happens, we take the aircraft back into maintenance and we look at everything. Simply because we may think we got it, It still needs to be cleaned out from all the chemicals and everything else. And every last one, we've had to replace the filters and a few other components when it catch fire like that. So just, keep in mind, please call me.